India versus China in the World Chess Championship. It's happening for the very first time. This World Chess Championship, irrespective of what the Western media might want to point at, is actually historic in a lot of ways. For the first time in the sport, there is no major American or European interference. Looking at it, Gukesh and Ding Liren, both challenger and champion in very odd circumstances. You have to understand that Ding became the world champion after Magnus Carlsen withdrew, and only because he was in the second spot at that point in the candidates, did it become all about that contest in 2022. Ding Liren versus Jan Nepomniachtchi was an attritional one, but then Ding finally won that, and that is why he managed to ensure that he became the champion, but he struggled. On the other hand, Gukesh's journey almost was on the tip of not happening, but then he managed to do it, because if you look at Gukesh's championship journey, it was a long, torturous one. Now remember, in this particular cycle, you had a couple of opportunities to make it. World Cup, you had to finish in the top 3, but then that didn't happen. Grand Swiss, you had to win, but then that didn't happen. Then came the FIDE Circuit. One of the last, if you look at the second last buffer in trying to make it to the candidates. Gukesh, in that 2023 FIDE Circuit event, managed to win the Chennai Grandmasters, and because of that he finished second and secured the candidates. Now in that candidates, Gukesh played one of the best that he's ever played. Toronto saw the birth of Gukesh the Beast, because he lost only one game, that was at round 7 to Alireza Firouzja. After that, he just ensured that he managed to keep Caruana and Nepomniachtchi at bay. These two were the only major contenders along with Alireza Firouzja. Then he managed to do it. He won the candidates by half a point, and then he became the world chess champion contender. Now, this Chennai Grandmasters played a pivotal role in ensuring that Gukesh won the FIDE Circuit. He was in the top 2 in the FIDE Circuit, because look at it, 87.36. He played in Dusseldorf, he played in Sharjah, he played in Stavanger, he played in the World Cup, he reached the quarterfinals. These were the number of points. Look at how much Chennai gave him. It was a tournament that was arranged at the very last moment, and FIDE gave it authority. 20 points, because he finished first in Chennai, he got 20 points and ensured he would finish in the top 2. Now, this Chennai Grandmasters proved to be the ultimate turning point, and because of that, Gukesh managed to reach the candidates. And in the candidates, he put on a great show, losing only one game and also ensuring he bet the others and kept himself in the race for that spot in the World Chess Championship. Now, after the candidates' success, things only got better for Gukesh. Prior to the candidates, he had beaten Ding and Magnus Carlsen in freestyle chess, Fischer 960 that they would call it. But then Olympiad gold, 9 out of 10 points in Budapest, and that ensured that Gukesh, you just had to look at the game that he played against Wei. It was a position that seemed drawn at everything, but he managed to secure one of the most incredible wins in his career. China was spooked, and that is why they didn't want to keep Ding Liren in that encounter. So, looking at the Olympiad success that is there, Gukesh has really been on top form in classical chess. Sure, he did play in the Poland Superbet Rapid and Blitz events, but Rapid and Blitz is one thing that he's kind of pushed into the background now, because he was focusing on the World Chess Championship. So, he played a couple of tournaments with mixed result after the Olympiad also and prior to the Olympiad. But on big major events, Gukesh has shown himself that he is the mentality monster. So, what started in Chennai, normally Chennai to Singapore takes about 3.5 hours by flight, but it has taken him nearly a year to ensure that he makes that journey, because Chennai Grandmasters proved to be the turning point in Gukesh. He then had to make a detour to Toronto, and then from Toronto he is now going to Singapore. November 25th to December 12th is really going to be an epic moment, because if Gukesh becomes the youngest world champion, then chess in India will have that same resurgence when Viswanathan Anand was dominating. Already Arjun Erigaisi is making many people proud with his exploits, and you could see potentially in 2026 when you look at it an all Indian World Chess Championship also. But for that, Gukesh has to win in Singapore. But his journey, he knows the odds. In an exclusive interview that I did with Sports Today, he's shown that yes, in the FIDE circuit, it was a long, torturous route. It did take a toll, but he's finally here to achieve his destiny. Will he do it? That remains to be seen. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.